Ever wondered why some people manage to achieve more with less effort? It's a question that often leaves many of us scratching our heads. We all know someone who just seems to have it all together, navigating their tasks with ease and accomplishing more in a single day than others do in a week. This is the power of productivity. It's not about doing more, but about making the most of what you do. It's about efficiency, about maximizing output, and minimizing input. It's the art of getting more done in less time. But how is this possible? How can some people seemingly crack the code while others struggle to keep up? There's a mystery here, a puzzle waiting to be solved. And the solution? It's not a secret formula or a magic potion. It's a principle, a rule of thumb that can shed light on this intriguing phenomenon. What if there was a principle that could explain this seeming disparity in productivity? Enter the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20th rule, is a concept you may not know by name, but its influence is all around us. This principle, named after Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, is a fascinating concept that has the potential to transform how we approach tasks and manage our time. Vilfredo Pareto, born in the mid-19th century, was a man of many talents. While he made significant contributions to the fields of economics and sociology, it was his observation of a peculiar distribution pattern that led him to formulate the Pareto principle. In the early 20th century, while studying the distribution of wealth in Italy, Pareto noticed an interesting pattern. He found that approximately 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the population. This pattern of unequal distribution was intriguing to Pareto, and he began to notice it in other areas as well. From pea pods in his garden to income distribution in different countries, the 80-20th rule seemed to be a universal principle. The Pareto principle suggests that in many scenarios, a majority of effects come from a minority of causes. In other words, 80% of results can often be traced back to just 20% of actions. This is not a rigid rule, but rather a pattern that tends to emerge in a wide range of contexts. This principle transcends the realm of economics. It's been observed in a variety of fields, from business to health, and even in our day-to-day lives. For instance, it's often the case that 80% of a company's profits come from 20% of its customers, or that 80% of health problems are caused by 20% of potential risk factors. The beauty of the Pareto principle lies in its simplicity and its universal application. It's a principle that encourages us to focus on what really matters, to identify the key actions that lead to the most significant results. So, the Pareto principle suggests that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. But how can we use this principle to our advantage? This is a question we'll explore further as we delve deeper into the power of the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle is more than just a fascinating concept. It's a tool we can use to enhance our productivity and efficiency. Imagine that you have a to-do list with 10 tasks. According to the Pareto principle, 2 of those tasks will likely yield 80% of the results. That's right, just 2 tasks could potentially have a larger impact than the remaining 8 combined. In the realm of business, this principle can be a game changer. For instance, you might find that 20% of your clients generate 80% of your revenue. In this case, it would be beneficial to focus more on those key clients, nurturing those relationships to maximize the return. Similarly, in your personal life, you may observe that a small portion of your relationships require a large chunk of your time and energy. Identifying these relationships and managing them effectively can help you maintain a healthy work-life balance. You can even apply the Pareto principle to your study habits. Suppose you're preparing for a test. Instead of trying to cover every single topic, you could focus on the 20% that is most likely to come up, thereby maximizing your study efficiency. The Pareto principle is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about understanding where your efforts will have the most impact and channeling your energy in that direction. It's about recognizing that not all tasks are created equal. Some are more valuable than others. That being said, it's important to remember that the Pareto principle is a guideline, not a hard and fast rule. It's not always going to be a perfect 80-20 split. The actual numbers may vary. But the underlying principle remains the same. A small number of causes are responsible for a large number of effects. Indeed, the Pareto principle can revolutionize the way we approach our tasks and goals. But how do we start applying it? Applying the Pareto principle starts with identifying the 20% that leads to 80% of your results. This is the cornerstone of the principle. and the first step in leveraging its power in your daily life. So, how do we identify this elusive 20%? It's all about recognizing what tasks, activities, or efforts are truly high impact. What are the tasks that, when completed, significantly move the needle towards your goals? These are the tasks that are part of your 20%. They may not be the most glamorous or exciting, but they are the tasks that truly matter. Once you've identified these high-impact tasks, the next step is to prioritize them. Make them the first items on your to-do list each day. Dedicate your best hours, your peak energy times to these tasks. The Pareto principle encourages us to focus our energy where it will be most effective. And this is exactly what you're doing by prioritizing these high-impact tasks. But what about the rest, the 80%? These are your low-impact tasks. While they may need to be done, they are not the tasks that will significantly contribute to your goals. It's important to recognize this and, where possible, consider eliminating or delegating these tasks. Can you automate them? Can you outsource them? Can you simplify them? The goal here is to free up more of your time and energy for the high-impact tasks, the ones that are truly driving your success. Applying the Pareto principle isn't always easy. It requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to focus on effectiveness rather than just being busy. But the rewards are well worth it. By focusing on your 20%, you can achieve more with less effort. You can increase your productivity and efficiency, and ultimately, achieve your goals faster. Embrace the Pareto principle, and you will see a shift in your productivity and efficiency, achieving more with less. Remember, it's not about being busy, it's about being effective.